Coming up on AC 24/7, an update on actor Jeremy Renner as the Washoe County Sheriff gives more details about just what took place. Plus, Jackson, Mississippi residents are dealing with yet another water shortage, this time some not having water since 2020. And Today Show viewers are in for a treat as one of the show's favorite hosts is set to return. Hey there, welcome to AC 24/7. I'm Lamar Baldwin. Actor Jeremy Renner is thanking fans for their support after his life-threatening snowplow accident. The Avengers actor posted a selfie to social media from what looked like a hospital bed. In the post, he wrote, quote, "Thank you to all for your kind words. I'm too messed up now to type, but I send all my love to you." Renner is being treated for chest and orthopedic injuries after he was run over by his own snow tractor while trying to free a family member's vehicle.
He had gotten out after he had unstuck one of his family members, and the truck was speaking to him. He noticed that the piston bully, is what we call it as a snowplow, started to move. He went to go back into the snowplow to stop it, at which point a family member and witnesses say they kind of saw him heading to the cab, and then he disappears, and then later is found on the middle of the road as the snow cat passed him, and it ran him over.
Damar Hamlin's uncle Dorian Glenn spoke about the moment he saw his nephew collapse mid-game against the Cincinnati Bengals.
We were in Pittsburgh watching it on TV, and his little brother was there with us. And when he seen his brother drop like that, and when I tell you I never seen him cry or scream like that, like we were trying to calm him down, like, yo, it's okay, you know, he'll gonna get back up, he'll be back in the game, you know, woo. Next thing you know, it's 10 minutes later, they're doing chest compressions. It's a half hour later, they still not playing yet. I'm like, yo, what's going on? What's wrong with my nephew? And then, like, when I say, like, now we were all in the room crying, man, we were all in tears, man. And I'm not a crier, but like I've never cried so hard in my life, man. Just to know like my nephew basically died on the field and they brought him back to life. I mean, that's just heartbreaking. And to see all those grown men crying and all the emotion, man, it really was a gut punch, man. And I would have been crying no matter who it was, but for it to be my nephew, it had that much more impact on me, man.
NFL star Damar Hamlin remains in critical but stable condition after collapsing on the field following a tackle mid-game. The Buffalo Bills have confirmed he suffered cardiac arrest. Mandy Gaither has more on what happens to the body during this emergency condition.
A shocking moment in Monday Night Football. Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin collapses after an open field tackle.
This is exceedingly rare, however, it's almost like getting struck by lightning.
The team confirmed Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest, the abrupt loss of heart function in a person who may or may not have been diagnosed with heart disease. What caused the emergency condition is still being determined, but multiple health experts say one possibility is a phenomenon called commotio cordis.
You think about the chest wall and then the projectile or the blow coming to the heart at that exact time when the heart is beating in a very particular way.
That causes the heart to go into an abnormal rhythm known as ventricular fibrillation.
When the heart is fibrillating, the only thing we can really do is administer that electrical shock.
Within 10 seconds of Hamlin's collapse, the Bills team trainers were treating him. Video shows an ambulance on the field in less than 5 minutes. The team says Hamlin's heart was restarted before he was rushed to the hospital.
Really, it's going to come down to his underlying strength, his conditioning, and how long he was without any oxygen.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Southern California beachfront property Bruce's Beach is being sold back to Los Angeles County for nearly $20 million. The oceanfront property was taken from black owners during the Jim Crow era and returned back to their descendants last year. Some Jackson, Mississippi residents have had no water since Christmas Eve. The city says it's working to restore water pressure to all residents after cold temperatures caused problems for their already crippled water system. Officials say they're making progress in restoring the service, but are still asking residents to conserve as much water as possible. While some people in Jackson haven't had water since Christmas Eve, others have been without water since 2020. The city is offering water distribution points for residents who need drinking and non-potable water. Fans of the Today Show are in for a nice surprise. Al Roker is set to return this week. The longtime weatherman has been out of work since November. A blood clot in his leg traveled to his lungs and led to 2 hospitalizations. The issue also caused him to miss hosting the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and the lighting of the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. He's been a staple at both those traditions for years. Roker's Today on-air co-workers announced his expected return. The Hollywood Historic Trust is paying tribute to Anita Pointer, one of the founding members of the Pointer Sisters. A wreath of roses was placed by the Pointer star along Hollywood's Walk of Fame. The Grammy Award winner died following her battle with cancer. Pointer and her 3 sisters first began singing together more than 50 years ago in their hometown church in Oakland, California. They released a number of big hits, including Fairy Tale, Slow Hand, Neutron Dance, and Jump. Anita Pointer was 75 years old. Earth, Wind & Fire drummer Fred White has died at 67. A temporary memorial has been set up at the band's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. White died on New Year's Day, but there's no word on the cause of death. White won 6 Grammy Awards and was nominated a total of 13 times with the band. Earth, Wind & Fire scored 6 consecutive double platinum albums and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the early 2000s. The band's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame was dedicated in 1995. A New York Times best-selling self-help book with the title We Can't Say on Air has been turned into a documentary. The Advocate Channel's Rick Damagella reports.
This is me, Mark Manson, and I wrote a book. It's about self-esteem.
Mark Manson's self-help book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Word We Can't Say on Television, is now a movie.
It'd be a hell of a lot easier if I could just hit you with 6 easy steps to life success.
The book has spent over 278 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list.
The inspiration for the book was basically, I was a little bit fed up with what I considered all the delusionally positive self-help material out in the world. So I wanted to write a self-help book that focused more on pain and struggles and negativity and being comfortable with that negativity, rather than just telling people to think positive all the time. Happiness is great, but it's kind of blah. Because it's when you're happy, it means nothing needs to change. I didn't realize how little I knew about filmmaking until I was actually on set talking to the director. Fortunately, I had done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of interviews prior. So I kind of just convinced myself that I was just doing a long piece of media publicity and just answering all the questions as if I was being interviewed for this interview or anything else. And so I think it's important to learn how to sit with your negative emotions because it's like cross-training for your mind.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
The more prepared you're going to be.
Thank you for joining us for AC 24/7. For more content that advocates for you, go to advocatechannel.com. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Lamont Baldwin.